Hi, it's Kia with Kia Ducks channel. Sorry I'm wearing a hoodie right now. I am in the house with the hoodie on, and that is because I'm getting ready for bed and my hair's all up, and I just got the urge to do this video and I couldn't wait. It's late and I just need to get out and do this video right now. Oh, I gotta take the Febreze out the shop though. So first, I want to say, if you are suffering from just deep depression to the point where you feel like you want to take your life, get help immediately. If you know someone at that point, get them help immediately. When it gets to the point where you or someone you know feels like they need to end it all, it's going to take some drastic measures to get them back. Sometimes, you know, so that's why it's always important to get help immediately. Even if you don't like going to the doctor, you don't believe in Western medicine, if you live in the West, get help. Okay. The feeling of suicide passes, you know, so it's important to not let that temporary feeling cause you to make a decision that will last permanently in this world, in this cycle. Okay, hold on, act on, live on. Hold on is taking all of your energy just to will yourself to want to live. Act on is taking the action. Don't just rest and will or hope or anything. You have to act on it. Then live on, that's living your life. That is breathing. Just breathing is so, I mean, it's just so incredible. Just taking the breath, the air in and out. Like, I did it. I made it through another day. You know, just, I don't mean to make this a long video, but just yesterday, I just had this ordeal. From the time I woke up to the time I laid my head on the pillow that night, and I'm just like, I still wasn't swayed. You know, I still wasn't defeated or knocked down. Like, even though a lot of things happened, I still was like, oh, I'm breathing. Anyway, depression. I do have a degree in psychology, but I'm not a psychologist or anything like that. This is just based on my my experience. A lot of people describe depression as just an emptiness. It's like a hole that just can't be filled no matter what you try to put in it. And we try to, you know, we want to try to fix ourselves, and we say, okay, well, the depression is because I'm not married, so then you get married. Then you find out you can't have a child. Like, oh, I'm depressed because I can't have a child, so you have a child. And then you say, oh, I'm depressed because of my job, I just don't like my job anymore, so you change jobs. Then, oh, I'm depressed just because, you know, I need a new car. Like, this car is just not, it's not doing it for me anymore. Like, I need something bigger. Then you get the new car and it's like, oh, and then you keep, the list just keeps getting longer and longer. And the more you get and you put into the hole, it doesn't get filled. And a lot of well-meaning people say, well, the only thing that can fill it is God. And for people who, you know, who don't know, okay, what does that mean? Or just don't believe that there is a God. Like, that's too impractical. I need something logical. You need to tell me A and B, and then after that there will be C, you know. So some people just don't believe in God, like that would take care of it. So and then a lot of people will use God just to encourage procrastination. Like, oh, I'm waiting on God. Well, God's gonna do it. You know, I have trust and I have faith and I believe in God. Then that makes other people look and they say, well, they're waiting on God, but their life hasn't changed. What has God done? And it's not that God hasn't done, or, you know, whatever you want to call God, the universe or the creator or the most high. It's not that they or he or it didn't act. It's that person didn't act or didn't get the right, they weren't dealt the right cards. So they had to, I mean, you know, you could be dealt a bad hand, but you have to play that hand. You know, maybe it's just, I don't want to get set this hand, you know, just play each round the best to what you have been given. But the goal is to win every day. And to win every day, in my opinion, is to be happy and be successful. And my success may not match your success, or what you think is successful, or what you want me to do to be successful. But success is me living out my dreams and finding my purpose. And ironically, or not, maybe not ironically, but that is what fills that void that I was talking about earlier, that can't be filled with the baby or the house, the car. It can only be filled with you fulfilling your purpose, your goal. And you know what that is. Every person has something different. And it starts off very, that desire is, it's just known when you're young. And then as you get older, you may tend to forget it when you keep ignoring it. And this is, I'm not quoting directly or paraphrasing directly from The Alchemist, but this was stated also in The Alchemist. So if you haven't read that book, that's a good book to read, by Paulo Coelho. But if you keep ignoring that voice, it's going to get quieter and quieter. So you're shushing that voice by ignoring it. And then you get to a point where, okay, the voice hasn't talked to you in a while. And then one day that voice is, awakened. And you're like, oh, yeah. But, it may be too late to do all that you could have accomplished in those years. You have spent 60 years, or not 60, maybe like 40 or 50 years doing one thing, when you could have been doing what you were supposed to do and have been living happy the whole time. But instead, we are in a depressed state because we are not listening to our voice. And what our voice is telling us to do is follow our passion. But instead, what we do is we follow what other people want for us. We follow what the status quo is. It's you go to college and you get a degree, and then you get a job, and then you have a family, and this is what you do. But maybe in your life, that's not what your passion is. Your passion is something totally different. So you following what people tell you is success, or what is going to make you happy, it's going to sometimes take you farther away from your real goal. And don't be afraid to follow your passion. A lot of times in college, people, they want to do what they're good at, of course, but they also want to do what makes them money. You have a lot of different interests. So every interest that you have can lead to a different career. And nowadays, they want you to pick a career at 18. But a lot of people don't really know what they want to do or what they want to be when they're 18. It changes as you get, in your 30s. That's when you really, really know, oh, this is what it was the whole time. But I ignored that, So a lot of times in college, it's like they tell you to have a certain degree. And that degree will lead to this job. So you get a medical degree, you become a doctor. You get a teaching degree, you become a teacher. Well, the problem with that is you waste a lot of time and money getting one career, and then you find out, oh, wow, this is not what I wanted to do. So I can't use my law degree in the medical field. So, or even, your social work degree in, the business field. You can use these things, but certain degrees require you to have certain classes in order to get the degree, to get the job. However, what I'm trying to tell you is, even if you follow somebody's plan and you realize, okay, I followed that plan because I thought it was going to lead me here. It didn't. But now I can continue to go where I want to go and be where I want to be if I change right now. And you change course by always listening to your passion and following your heart. Your passion may change. You may start one. You may be listening to your heart and you accomplish one thing, and then you reached it, and then you have more life to live, and your passion may start to include other things, and that's okay. That's when you reach a crossroads, and sometimes you have to decide, okay, this is where my life is taking me. maybe have to give up something to keep going on. And that is another area that a lot of people are prone to depression, because it's like your world is just changing so much. A lot of people do not like change, even though they swear they do. But a lot of people just, they just like their life. They just want to continue to be happy and continue to have good things happen. And sometimes you have to sacrifice things in order to, for good things to happen. And hopefully you're not, making sacrifices that are harmful to yourself or to someone else. But like I said at the beginning of the video, if you are at a point where you feel like you want to hurt yourself, you need to get help immediately. Same way, if you are at a point where you feel like you want to hurt someone else, it's time to get help immediately. There's no push, there's no waiting on that. Your purpose is not to hurt someone else or to hurt yourself. That would not be in alignment with your purpose. I can pretty much guarantee that. So align your purpose with what is going to empower you and make you a better person. And if we all did that, then this world would be a better place. Because like I said in my other video on fate versus free will, we all are, or fate is basically everybody using their free will, and what we experience when everybody uses their free will. So if everybody's free will is to hurt everybody else or step over somebody else to get to the top, then what are we going to have? We're going to have a lot of pain and hurt and war and, conflict and deceit and dishonor and all these different things. But if your purpose, or if you use your free will and you empower yourself, then that can empower someone else. And then what we will experience is the fate of everyone just having a better experience in life, because everybody will be empowering themselves and it won't be any blame. Sometimes, we can be making decisions, and each decision we make, it feels like it's taking us further and further away from our goal. And those things happen, and those are tests. And it's there to teach us something. And those things should be reflected upon. Like I had something happen, like I mentioned earlier in the video. I had something happen to me yesterday, and it was just, I'm thinking, okay, what am I being tested for? So I had to, I'm still kind of contemplating on it. Like, what am I being tested on? And then things kept coming in my mind to make this video. So I made this video. So I'm listening to the universe and being, obedient to that, and what my purpose and goal is, and my passion is to bring forward information that will help and to hopefully inspire anyone who this comes across. So if you have been helped, or if you know somebody who needs to see this video, please pass it along. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you next time. Bye.